What's up guys, Matt here, and welcome to this Tuesday edition of my daily news show where I talk about the day's stories that I want to share with you all. If you like it, make sure you let me know by hitting that thumbs up, and make sure you subscribe so I can see you tomorrow. So we'll jump right in today with a story coming to us from Seattle, Washington, where a doctor has apparently been suspended for sexting during surgery. And yes, you heard that right, he was sexting. Arthur Zilberstein, an anesthesiologist, was apparently sending sexually explicit messages while assisting with surgeries like C-sections and many others. He also allegedly had relations with a patient and prescribed her unauthorized narcotics. He also sent sexual pictures to that same patient wearing his scrubs, his hospital badge, and allowing his genitals to hang out. In one day alone, he sent 64 different texts over a span of 7 different surgeries, most of which had some type of sexual message or sexual innuendo. What the actual fuck is this? This guy had his license suspended, but he needs to be just done. Just flat out, no more doctoring, no more nothing. He should never set foot in an operating room again. This is awful. And on top of all that, as if this wasn't enough, he's also accused of accessing medical images to masturbate to them. Oh man. I will be shocked if he ever gets hired anywhere else again. This is just disgusting. So moving on from that gross bit of news, I have a story for you about Carlisha Thurman, a 25-year-old recent college graduate. She had her graduation ceremony where she had several pictures taken of her where she was posing while breastfeeding her daughter. And she's caught a lot of heat for that, exposing herself in front of everyone, how inappropriate that was of you, you know, blah blah blah, you know how people are. So, first of all, congratulations to her for graduating college. That alone is a great feat, I think. But overall, I have some mixed feelings on this. So my main question is, why is there no middle ground? Why is this an either-or kind of thing? Like you're either team, she's a nasty hoe and she should be ashamed of herself. These are actual comments, by the way. Or your team, breastfeeding is divine and she should be able to whip it out wherever she wants. And if you disagree, you're a sexist pig. Why does everything always have to be the extreme? There's never any middle ground. Not everything is so black and white, cut and dry. Now, I'm a very cynical person for the most part, so to me, this kind of seems like a pushing the envelope, look at me, just doing it because I can kind of thing. I mean, she could have gotten a babysitter, she could have had the dad of the child, or mom, grandpa, sister, brother, whoever. She could have had one of them feed them with a bottle. Or if the kid didn't want the bottle, maybe she could have just excused herself for 10-15 minutes, feed the kid, and then come back to the ceremony. Or, you know, even just hold her right here and put a burp cloth or a blanket or something over the top of the breast and of the child, and, you know, you're good to go. At work, I knew some people who would go into a supply closet or to an unused conference room or something like that and breast pump for a little bit and then come back. And they would do that periodically throughout the day. And these are just alternatives that I'm coming up with straight off the top of my head. And I think there's a time and a place for everything. A college graduation ceremony in front of thousands upon thousands of people is not a time or a place for breastfeeding. Unless you absolutely have to do this in front of so many people at this ceremony, I just don't see any way that, you know, it's not a little bit off, a little bit weird. And that will actually lead us into today's question of the day. Do you think it's okay for a woman to breastfeed wherever she wants? If you're a mother, do you or did you breastfeed in public? I myself am in the middle. I think the people who are shaming her are wrong and they're getting carried away. But at the same time, the people at the opposite extreme are also wrong and getting carried away. Like I said, there's a time and a place for everything. But I do acknowledge that sometimes, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. So be sure to let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. So this next story is coming to us from Cincinnati, Ohio, where there's been another alleged Slender Man stabbing. This time it was by a 13-year-old girl attacking her own mother. She was reportedly dressed in a white mask with her hood up and her hands inside of her sleeves, and she attacked her mother with a kitchen knife. Luckily, the mother only received very minor wounds, but she did find writings and references to Slender Man. So this, of course, led her to believe that this was supposed to be another tribute to him. Look, if you don't know what your kid is doing on the internet, you should get on that. Probably less than 1% of the internet is kid-friendly, and it's extremely easy to stumble into something that a kid should not be seeing. Slender Man was designed to win a scary story contest on Creepypasta back in like 2009. If you like scary stories, go read them, enjoy them, they're good. But keep it in the movie or the book, or keep it on the website. Don't take it into real life. I really hope something so stupid like this doesn't turn into an epidemic. So for this last story, it seems we have a bit of sibling rivalry coming from Florida. A 31-year-old Florida man, Rodney Brown, was arrested for domestic battery and drug charges. He was apparently fighting with his brother and wound up doing what any normal person would do. He ripped a few 3-foot marijuana stalks out of his garden and began to beat his brother with them. Police arrived to arrest him for the domestic battery, but when they saw all the drugs and paraphernalia, he wound up getting that tacked onto his charges as well. And I just wanted to hit on that real quick. I'm not sure I can make it funnier, even if I tried. So I won't. I'll just leave you guys on that note. Of course, I'd love to know your thoughts on the question of the day or anything else I talked about in the form of a comment down below. With that, I will take my leave. Before you go, make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Be sure to stick around a little bit longer for the UrbanDictionary.com word of the day. Thank you so much for watching today, and I will see you tomorrow. So today's UrbanDictionary.com word of the day is YouTube loop. YouTube loop. When you go to watch a quick 30-second video on YouTube and regain consciousness hours later, having jumped from interesting video to interesting video. Clarence, dude, you totally missed the funeral yesterday. T-Dog, yeah, I know. Somebody emailed me a funny clip and I got stuck in a YouTube loop. Ah, yes, the classic YouTube loop. Or it can even be like a Facebook loop too. I burned through many hours doing stuff like this. Oh, that looks cool. What's this? Next thing I know, it's like 2:30 in the morning and I have to wake up at 6 the next day. Like, really, you can do that for anything on the internet. So you gotta be careful with that. It can be dangerous. But I'm pretty sure that most of you guys have experienced this phenomenon before. And if you're like me, you've done it